The Ethereum price has been in an uptrend ever since its bear market low in June of 2022. But has that come to an end? Let's find out. Hello everyone, my name is J1 General and welcome back to another cryptocurrency video. In today's video we will be discussing the price action on ETH and essentially give a nice macro outlook into the future price of Ethereum to see where we could go heading into the next bull market cycle. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as it always makes help the channel grow. And if you are a fan of cryptocurrency, which I assume you are, I have a cryptocurrency shop where you can shop some cryptocurrency products. I'll leave a link in the description down below, anywhere from coins, t-shirts, accessories and jewelry for you or a loved one. I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can get 5% off. However, without further ado, let's begin with the video. And let's begin with Ethereum's current price, currently sitting at $2,530. Ethereum is showing some sort of relative strength, just like Bitcoin, throughout the last 4 months, ever since October. Yeah, but the thing with Ethereum now, Ethereum is starting to get a lot of hype. Yeah, there was a lot of fear surrounding Ethereum in this portion right here. And you'd ask why? Why is there a lot of fear around Ethereum even though the trend has been bullish? Well, that is because since Bitcoin started to take the lead from October and started to drive the market by itself, a lot of altcoins has had fun in the market, yeah? A lot of layer ones like Solana, like Cardano, like AVAX, like Injective, etc. So whilst these altcoins are in the spotlight, Ethereum was slowly trending up, but a lot of people didn't want to toy with Ethereum because of how expensive or how complicated it is to use the DeFi system behind it. Yeah, we all know about ETH's gas fees and how congestion can cause gas fees to essentially be a high price for you to conduct a transaction. So there was a lot of FUD surrounding Ethereum, but I'd like to say ever since the Bitcoin ETF went ahead, Ethereum price action rocketed. Yeah, it rocketed. So if we take a look at the price action, actually, the Bitcoin ETF actually went live just last week. So if we take a look at the bottom of a couple of weeks ago to when the ETF went live, Ethereum price actually rallied just shy of 30%. Yeah, 29.11%, and is still looking relatively strong. We're going to look at a couple of tools as to why in this season high price is favorable for Ethereum, and then we're going to look at a couple of warning signs towards the end of the video. So if we take a look at this metric, guys, and this is quarterly returns, yeah, the percentage of quarterly returns, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 throughout the year. And if we take a look at Ethereum, this is Bitcoin on the left hand side, but in today's video we will be solely speaking about Ethereum, but we will touch on Bitcoin with regards to the Ether Bitcoin pairing, yeah, with regards to their dominance. But if we just take a look at Ethereum's quarterly returns against the US dollar, you can see that in Q1 and Q2, yeah, they are favorable times for Ethereum. It's only when you get to Q3 and Q4 you see a lot more red quarters for Ethereum. So on average, Q1 produces 86.55%, and in Q2 it is an average of around 75.91%. You can see that essentially decreases a lot more in Q3. Q3 is not favorable for Ethereum at all, at only around 4%. Even though still an increase, it is a large decrease in comparison to Q1 and Q2. And Q4 you can see we're around that 23%. So very similar to Q3 performance, just not as strong as Q1 and Q2. So Q1 and Q2 are very, very strong for Ethereum, which is why it could be in the spotlight right now. If we scroll down, you can see the actual monthly returns for Ethereum, and again you can see where the favorable price action and how the favorable price actually prices in within the first 6 months of the year. So I mean, you can just use your eyes to witness this. You can see that towards the end of the year, from Q3 onwards, there's a lot more red months in comparison to the first half of the year. We've currently started January around plus 10% up, yeah, whereas in 2022 and 2019 we've had negative months. So these few months could be bullish for Ethereum, guys. Like, that's just the way it is. The data suggests that Ethereum could perform well in the first half of the year. It's only with regards to the second half of the year that Ethereum tends to underperform. So what narrative could surround or support this data? Yeah? Because there's always a narrative that's linked to the technical analysis and price analysis within the charts. And one of the things that could be bullish for Ethereum right now is that Ethereum has its own ETFs coming. Yeah, it is inevitable that Ethereum, because it's not classed as a security like many other altcoins, Ethereum is essentially the index for the altcoin market. So it is at the head of the table when it comes to altcoins. But with that being said, we saw how the Bitcoin price increased significantly with its own ETF. But what will happen when Ethereum gets its own ETF? Yeah, and I think that's why the Ethereum price started to pump even though Bitcoin had a sell the news event. And that is because the spotlight has gone from Bitcoin and is now transferring into Ethereum. Ethereum's final deadlines for its own ETFs will come in the months of May, June, July and August. So in Q3, at the end of Q2, Q3, and we know that at the end of Q2, Q3, that is unfavorable times for Ethereum, and that is where it comes with warning, because yes, this is bullish, but what if they delay this? The delay of the final deadline will coincide with a price decrease with Ethereum, yeah? And let me show you a couple of warning signs, yeah? Let's look at the charts, because I managed to spot something today. Yeah, and this is very cyclical. I've noticed this, yeah. So if we take a look at 2 cycles ago, we can just draw a trend line right here, yeah. And then the same goes for last cycle. If we go up like this, and the same is looking to repeat this time from our bear market low to where price currently is right here. Now this is very dubiously speculated because I'm just drawing lines on a chart, but let me explain the thesis behind it, yeah? If we overlay the Ether Bitcoin chart, if I can find it at least. No, it doesn't want to show up. I mean, that's fine. If I search Ether Bitcoin and it doesn't want to show, okay, that's fine, we can take a look at this chart right here. When taking a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, guys, and let me just show you one thing, because the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is one of the most cyclical charts. I actually made a video just singling out why it's so cyclical. But if we take a look at the chart, we've got a 1, 2 peak, same here, 1, 2 peak, same here, 1, 2 peak. We have a little wick, which is right here, same as here, and same as here, yeah. But the breakdown points, this is what I'm referring to when I say there's a warning in the market. So I did say in my video with regards to the Ether Bitcoin pair that we will get a significant bounce, and that has exactly happened, yeah. That has exactly happened. But this warning point right here, yeah, this peak right here, and these peaks right here, and this peak that will come very soon. I don't think it has bottomed out yet. I think the Ethereum Bitcoin pair has more room to grow before it ultimately falls down below. But if we take a look and go back to the Ethereum price chart, guys, you can see that when Ethereum USD started to drop, yeah, it started to drop and it broke below this line around, let's say, September 2016. Last cycle, it dropped around July of 2019. So if we take a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing again, remember these dates here, October 16 and July 19. So if we go back, when did the fallout happen? Yeah, the fallout happened in September of 2016. If I just remove these drawings to make it clearer, the breakdown point, this point right here, happened in October of 2016, and just like last cycle, the breakdown point happened in 2019, Jan 2019. So if we go back to the Ethereum chart, you can see the breakdown happened in July of 2019, and then the breakdown before that happened in October 16. So there's some confluence there, which shows that the Ethereum USD price, once that breaks down, that is when the Ether USD value also breaks down. Yeah, it's very cyclical. It goes hand in hand. When Ether USD breaks down, the Ether Bitcoin pairing goes down. Just like up here. When Ether USD breaks down, Ether Bitcoin breaks down. So I think the same thing could happen again, where Ethereum has caught a bounce against this Bitcoin pairing, but just like these cycles before, where Ethereum has broken these trendline points right here, and we ultimately went lower, further down. We broke the trend line and ultimately went lower, further down. Could the same thing happen again around Q2, Q3, surrounding the narratives of Ethereum underperforming in Q3 onwards, and with the narratives of its ETF? Could the same thing happen where Ethereum breaks this trend line here and then decreases? And once that happens, that is when the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing will also capitulate, going hand in hand and repeating history with what's happened in the previous cycles. It's just something to think about, because Ethereum has done relatively well ever since its bear market low. So it is just something to think about. Whilst everyone is currently bullish and altcoins are going crazy, Ethereum is relatively strong against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking a bit shaky at the moment ever since the post launch of the ETF. So it is just something to think about. Will Ethereum go higher in the short term? Possibly. It can possibly and definitely go higher in the short term, especially if eyes are off Bitcoin and altcoins are starting to do relatively well. If we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, that has started to struggle a bit. You can see last week the dominance essentially went down, and that is because of how well Ethereum has performed and how bad Bitcoin performed last week. If you take a look at the Bitcoin chart, you can see that this candle right here is not a candle you want to see. So it could be the start of a sort of a mini alt rally season that could occur, but ultimately I do think that the Ethereum price will definitely head lower, back down towards this trend line, and if it breaks this trend line, you know that history is repeating, which will then coincide with the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing also decreasing massively. If we take a look at the percentage drawdowns of these moves, you can see that once we break the trend line, we can easily drop 50%. So 2 cycles ago it was around 48%. If we take it from last cycle, and depending on where you want to match the low, so the first low was around 51%, but if you take the pandemic low on top of that, it was around 63%. So anywhere between 48 and 63% is what's happened in the past. An average of that is 55%. So 55% from the breakdown of this trend line, if we just dubiously speak, for example, if we were to start decreasing from April, let's say, a 55% decrease would result in Ethereum kind of putting in a double bottom. Yeah, so that is just something to keep in mind, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as it always means a lot. And as always, it's been your boy J1 General. Thank you and goodbye.